So Goku's new form looks pretty freaking dope, but am I the only one that's over here going, can Vegeta get some love, please? I think he might. This is Theory Time. What is up, YouTube? It's Josh. This is the Den of Nerds. Hey, real quick, if you love Dragon Ball among other nerdy things, subscribe to this channel. We do all sorts of cool videos here, including rants, theories, and breakdowns. And oh, you're probably going to want to click that bell because, well, YouTube. Anyways, getting right into this video, I have to talk about Dragon Ball Super, and actually it has treated Vegeta pretty fairly up until the last couple of months. It's actually been a breath of fresh air to give him some of the most interesting character moments in the series. He's excelled in power, he's trained with Whis by himself, we start to see him like his family and be able to stand being around them. It's been really good, and as a Vegeta fan, I've actually been super happy with what Dragon Ball Super has been doing to that character, but that is all until now. Ever since the Tournament of Power was announced and we started to build towards it, Vegeta has sort of taken a back seat. And there's a couple of different examples that kind of support this idea. I mean, A, he wasn't in the preliminary fights. B, he didn't do a lot of training for this tournament in general, and he hasn't really got any moments within the tournament that are without Goku. So he has some cool moments with Kakarot, but doesn't really shine on his own. On top of all of that, they are giving Goku a complete focus for an hour-long special and the new limit breaker form, which you might as well call the internet breaker, because this thing is a really hot topic right now that people are enjoying talking about. So, in classic Vegeta fanboy fashion, I must ask the question, is it possible for the Prince of all Saiyans to also achieve the limit breaker form? I think not only can he, but it is inevitable that he will. I actually don't think that Dragon Ball Super is going to end anytime soon. It will go way past the end of the Universal Survival arc, which will probably lead us into an area where all of the Z fighters will have to become much more powerful. If Goku is able to achieve this form and it puts him at the level he needs to be for this next arc, I think it's fair to say Vegeta will get there also, and I actually have some evidence as to why I believe this. So the first piece of evidence has to do with all of the parallels between what is going on in Super right now and what was going on in Dragon Ball Z around the time of Frieza on Namek and Goku going Super Saiyan for the first time ever. So if you know anything about what is going to happen in the 1 hour special, Goku will be going Kaioken times 20 to fight Jiren. He also went Kaioken times 20 to fight Frieza on Namek. It didn't work then, it probably isn't going to work now, because we know that Goku's also going to summon a Spirit Bomb when he's fighting Jiren. This is also very similar to what happened on Namek, where Goku does summon a Spirit Bomb, hits Frieza with it, and it's still not enough. So people are saying that the Limit Breaker form is a parallel for Super Saiyan, and this will be a thing that happens in the same way it happened to Goku when he was originally fighting Frieza. Well, it doesn't take too much to well, if that is the case, I think it's fair to say that Vegeta might also mirror what he was doing around that time in Dragon Ball Z. When he sees Goku go Super Saiyan, it snaps something in him, and he goes away by himself and suffers and trains until he is able to achieve the form for himself. So if they are paralleling to that moment back in Z, I think it's fair to say that Vegeta will do the same thing he did back then, see the form, go achieve it on his own, because his rivalry with Kakarot has always been the thing that drives him to the next level. But that's not the only piece of evidence that I have for this. There is also the fact that Vegeta has been able to master both Super Saiyan Blue and Super Saiyan Red. And you might be thinking, wait a minute, he didn't go Super Saiyan Red. Well, that's only true in the anime. In the manga, not only does Vegeta go Super Saiyan Red, but he does it in a really awesome fashion. He actually reverts to the form against Goku Black, explaining that Super Saiyan Blue is actually too draining on your stamina. Not only does he do that, he actually bursts from Red into Blue at the end of his attacks in order to get the power bonus without the constant drain of stamina. This is something that Goku did in the Saiyan saga when fighting against Raditz and Vegeta himself. He would burst Kaioken at the end of his attacks to get the same kind of power bonus without the constant strain on his stamina. In manga chapter 22, Vegeta also fights Beerus because the Oracle Fish is explaining that Goku and Vegeta will become his worst rivals, and so Vegeta fights against Beerus, who notes how strong Vegeta has gotten, and he actually says that Vegeta could be a god of destruction for another universe. That is the level of power that Vegeta has achieved. Now, in the anime version of this, Vegeta breaks out of the room spirit in time, and when he fights Black, he just literally manhandles him in what some people were calling the blue-white Saiyan form. There is a lot of white in that aura. It's a shame that they didn't actually put the god swapping between red and blue, but they at least showed how strong Vegeta can get from training. And look, the guy's just simply a prodigy. He's able to go Super Saiyan God without the ritual, which is kind of crazy and actually leads me into my third point. But real quick, I want to say that they actually took the god swapping and the idea that blue is too draining on the stamina, and they put it into the anime, but they gave it to Goku. I mean, come on. Can you just give Vegeta a little bit of shine? But in either case, the last thing I want to talk about, and the reason that I think he will achieve Limit Breaker, is because we don't actually know how he was able to achieve red or blue without the ritual. But there's a really interesting theory that I tend to like about his links to Goku's body. The theory states that because Vegeta and Goku have fused so many different times, and using both Potara and the fusion dance, that their bodies are somehow linked. This is how Vegeta is able to follow the fight in Battle of Gods despite nobody being able to sense the God Ki. It also might be the reason that Vegeta is able to utilize and manifest the God Ki. I mean, nobody else is able to do this other than someone who shared a body with Goku. If this theory ends up being true, then if Goku achieves the Limit Breaker form, that will be something that Vegeta will be able to sense and feel as though it were in his own body, thus giving him the ability to tap into such a power with possibly some training, maybe some rage. So as for now, we don't even know how Goku taps into the form. I do not think he absorbs the Spirit Bomb. I think that would be kind of whack. I don't know if it's the ancient Saiyan genes. I actually think it's just as simple as him pushing past his limits once again, only this time on a scale that we can barely fathom, and I think that is exactly what Vegeta will do when he reaches the Limit Breaker form as well. But what do you think about this theory? Do you think it's possible that Vegeta will go Limit Breaker? Does any of the evidence that I put forward convince you? And if not, feel free to berate me in the comments. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and nerdy day. See ya!